Okay, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. ربنا هب لنا من أزواجنا وذرياتنا قرة أعين واجعلنا للمتقين إماما. اللهم اهدنا فيمن هديت وعافنا فيمن عافيت وتولنا فيمن توليت وبارك لنا فيما أعطيت وقنا شر ما قضيت فإنك تقضي ولا يقضى عليك إنه لا يذل من واليت ولا يعز من عاديت وتعاليت فلك الحمد على ما قضيت. نستغفرك اللهم ونتوب إليك وصلى الله على محمد وعلى آله وأصحابه وأتباعه وسلم والحمد لله رب العالمين. Amen. Last week we studied verse 12 in general, when the hell is made to burn fiercely, but we studied the verse from personal experience point of view. It means the hell represents denying the truth. Denying the truth represents going against one's nature, human nature. So when somebody goes against his or her nature, he definitely experiences the contradiction. And in this world, we said we have to concentrate on the contradiction in this world, or in the application of the verse in this world, so that we will be comfortable about how we should believe that there should be another creation, and in the other creation we will experience the eternal effect of what they have done here. So how true it is. So if we don't know the signs of it here, we cannot really believe it in the next creation, and the next creation will be such and such. It looks like a fable for me. If we don't really experience it and confirm it while we are in this world. So in principle, we said we should study the Qur'an in order to see its application in our life here and now. Here. So when we concentrate on this, we studied what hell is for a human being last week. But at the same time, the Quran describes hell. Let's see how it describes hell in various places. This one, Murat, can you, or somebody else, can somebody else read the original Arabic Quran? Yeah. Okay.
يا أيها الذين آمنوا قوا أنفسكم وأهليكم نارا وقودها الناس والحجارة عليها ملائكة غلاظ شداد لا يعصون الله ما أمرهم ويفعلون ما يؤمرون.
Yeah. So somebody English who can.
Oh, oh, you who believe, save yourselves and your people from a fire whose fuel is men and stones. Over it are angels, stern and strong. They do not disobey God in what He commands them, and do as they are commanded.
Now, I think the verse has two aspects. The fuel of hell consists of human beings. What does it mean?
Our humanity.
Now, of course, we don't know the nature of what will happen in the next creation because there is no explanation. But it will be eternal. That's it. That's what the Quran says, and never ending. That's what the Quran says. But for now, I should understand what hell is. Is such a creation that the fuel of which is human being himself. What does it mean? It's a great understanding, actually, of hell. Or the Quran is explaining that very exciting. Where
is it because? Can I say something? Is it because, like, in heaven too, like all these our natures, that like jealousy and these things gone, is all like in hell is more there or not? Like
a dark.
yeah, I mean, nothing but jealousy or other things and action-wise is okay, but especially our understanding of our existence. Especially, we have to concentrate on who we are in this world. If I see myself as a result of came into existence, for example, I don't know, as a result of natural developments, or I don't know, the things evolved in a certain way that we came out like this, or happened to be as it is. We don't know. So this understanding will be the fuel of our own hell. It means maybe we have to be careful there. The people say God will punish them in fire, or the furious fire of hell. But God says, no, 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 you will bring your own fuel. I'm not going to give you anything extra, whatever you deserve. So however you understood and you appreciated the creation, the world, accordingly the human beings will be treated. Or it means what we do in this world, we choose from among the options and decide, since we are talking about the hell, we have to say, okay, there's no conscious creator who created me, plus I happen to be like this, and there is no meaning in my existence. If one says, if one chooses this option, then he will be treated accordingly, with no meaning, no purpose, and of course in the world what we see, we are going to die, and everything will come to an end. It means complete annihilation. So what the hell is described here in the form of a complete annihilation. It means you have no value. You will be gone into non-existence. It means no value whatsoever. So you will be treated accordingly. Of course, when we contrast with paradise, the paradise is what makes the paradise? One's understanding of his or her existence, or the existence of this world. How do you understand it? So paradise says, I mean, let's put it in black and white terms. In black and white terms, hell is the worst scenario. Paradise is the best scenario. Of course, no one can be in the worst or in the best. We will be in the middle, but of course, somewhere in the middle. But in order to understand the case, what we have to do, we have to make it clear for ourselves. So in order to understand the case clearly, we have to talk in extreme terms. So don't say that, oh, I am a person of hell or a person of paradise, so I will be at the highest level or the lowest level. We will be in the middle, as we are in the middle in this world. But which direction we are taking is important. Whether the direction which takes me to hell, it means complete denial and complete meaninglessness, complete purposelessness, complete hopelessness, or just the opposite. I belong to the eternal one, absolute one, and everything is from him, and he has no time limit or any kind of limit. He's the absolute one, so he provides everything for me. I belong to him. Now, within these alternatives, what we do, we take one side, but not verbally. Not only verbally means, I believe in God and he created me. Okay, I'm okay. And how about how I have developed my senses and educated them accordingly? For example, if someone says, we give this typical example, I'm going to study law, for example, and go to law school, but never attend the class. I mean, register with the law school, but never attend the class. What happens? Do you develop your human senses as a lawyer? Can you become a lawyer? In any sense, because an extreme example, you have never attended the class, you know nothing of the law. Go first, please, don't be shy. No. Okay. Don't be shy. Why are you? Okay. You never, if someone never attends the class, affiliation with the law school doesn't give him any value. So if I say, I believe in God, and accordingly, I just educate myself and my senses according to my own expectations, according to the conditions of this world, rather than what this world refers to. Now, everything in this world refers to what we discussed this before, attracts the human mind, human understanding and senses. Look, I am carrying the qualities of my maker. Please find it out. If someone does not interact with this world, is drawing my attention to its eternal absolute source, and anytime I interact with the world, do not really remember and remind myself that, look, this is from the, let's say, absolute creator, absolute designer, absolute orderer, absolutely merciful one, and aware of everything what he's doing. All my senses belong to him. So you start developing this understanding within yourself. You interact with the world. So this improved quality of the world, or
understanding,
capacity of your senses, which is your humanity, human side, not body. It's something to do with your human side. The body, we will leave it here, we will shed it off here, and they will put it in the grave, and it will get rotten. Doesn't matter really. Body is nothing. Ultimately, it means nothing. But we have to use the body in order to see the meaning. Like the simple, practical example, you get a book. Why do you carry the book? Why do you have the book with you? What do you do with the book? The paper, do you eat it? What do you do? Well, some people put it on the shelf for decoration, so they dump something else. So, sorry?
We read it.
Read it.
Yeah.
Yeah. After reading and getting the meaning from the book, what do you do with the papers?
Get rid of it.
Well, let's give it to somebody else.
Yeah.
But you don't need it anymore. You understand? Like our body. Our body is the physical body of the book. Please, physical body of the book, our body. But our senses, what we get out of it, how do we use this? Anything you interact with the word, we interact with the word. What do we get? You get the meaning. But for example, we give the typical example of fruit or something. Let's change the example of fruit today to something pomegranate. Okay, eat the pomegranate. If you eat the body of the pomegranate, not the existence of the pomegranate refers to its refers to the qualities of its maker. What happens? Pomegranate or connects you bodily with your body. Yep. When you eat the pomegranate dies, finishes. Yeah. And when we die, our body finishes. What is left?
Soul.
Sorry?
Our souls are left.
But has the soul been educated, trained, learned anything? Like registered, like, being a student in the school of the universe, but never attend any class and learn. Or get the book, for example, let's say the most important book, let's say for the Muslims, the Qur'an, or for the Christians, the Bible. Okay. You got the Qur'an, and you put it on the very high shelf. Yeah. But you never learned anything from it. But you may have read it, but you never learned anything, and your soul, I'm copying your word, your soul is not being educated through its teaching. What happens? Your eyes look at the scripture or the letters on it, and when we die, what happens? My eye, right? What is left? Nothing. As if you are going and attending a class where the professor teaches something, rather than paying attention to what he teaches, you pay attention to what kind of shirt he's wearing. Well, how about the color of the shoes? Whether are they matching? Yeah, you pay attention to the classroom, the size of the classroom, right? And the voice itself, not the meaning, what you learn from the class, what your soul gets from the class. Extreme example, nothing. So when you go out of the class, what is left with you is just material things. When we die, the material side of our existence goes into the earth, and decay is there, finish. As if you get the book, you didn't learn anything from it. When I die, what happens? I go to, my body goes there, my soul remains, but my soul is not subject to natural laws. It doesn't change. So it has another nature. That's another subject. That's not our subject today. But what happens to the book, and which kind of relationship you have? And also, after I die, and my children, my whatever heirs I have, they will come and they will just put all of the things, belongings that they are not going to benefit from it into garbage bin. The book will go to the garbage bin. What did you learn from it? Nothing. Yeah. So the point is, or the point in being in this world is, what are we learning from this existence? Accordingly, how are we training our soul, human side? So this human side will remain in the next creation. After coming out of this universe, the school of this universe, now you will be left with your human side. If we are left, or this universe, with the qualities that we have made, whatever we made, that will be our virtue. The rest of what we have not educated ourselves will be with us, and they will constitute the hell. Because they will be meaningless, purposeless. They have no hope, because of those people who did not accept that they belong to the absolute being, and accordingly educated, trained themselves. What happens? They learn nothing. Their soul is left with nothing, no value. You have to understand that this verse says, "O you who believe, save yourself and your people," of course, the people you are in touch with. Not necessarily that your son and daughter, and then that's it. No, everybody that you are in contact with, save them from a fire whose fuel is yourself. What you have educated, how you have educated yourself. That's your fuel. But this is the description of hell.
And stones, what does that mean?
The stone you made up. It means, for example, the stone. I mean, in the language of the Quran is idols. But idols are what? What are idols? You deified anything. For example, look, I ate the pomegranate and I feel satisfied, and pomegranate satisfied me. Wow, it's delicious. Now, that is your stone. Instead of pomegranate, you will have stone. It means in the next creation, because you haven't read the meaning inscribed in the existence of pomegranate, like the book. For example, you have not learned anything from the book. You got a book, you have not learned anything from the book, and what you will be, okay, the paper and the ink and the maybe the volume of the book, and binding the cover papers will be given to you. Here it is. That's what you owned. The meaning, you didn't get it. You didn't educate yourself accordingly, and nothing. So you will be giving papers, not the meaning that it referred to, and you educated yourself. Like the simple example, I think we should stop soon, eh? Or
No.
what time is the Maghrib time? Sorry?
7:21.
No, 7:20, 20 something. It's 21.
20.
It is 20. Okay, we have to stop. We have to give a break, but let's finish this fuel and storm. What we have defined, it will be our, if you like, bricks of our place in the hell. It means the paper of the book, or the meaningless, purposeless existence of, because we described that it is meaningless, it is purposeless, of the pomegranate. Yeah, it means not the taste, not the pleasure, because they didn't turn into eternity. because you didn't attribute, you didn't see the manifestations of the eternal absolute qualities of its creator on the pomegranate. So you treated the pomegranate as if the paper book, the book consists of paper only, not the meaning. So it is really realistic to me to understand that, first of all the Quranic language which says God is going to give you, put you in hell, and it is furious, and God will punish you there. Yeah, adabun alim, really severe torture. And we say that, of course, the human beings say, wow, God who creates me and then burns me or punishes me, tortures me. Huh? Which kind of God is he? It is. Right? It is an inevitable human question. So the Quran says, look, when I say this is the way I create. This is the order in the way I create. Right? If you don't see the meaning, which it is obvious to you, if you have the intention to see it, just if you shouldn't reduce the existence of the pomegranate to its material being, but the importance of the existence of pomegranate for you is to introduce its maker to you, so that you will get acquainted with the creator of the pomegranate. So if you see that it is purposefully prepared by a merciful one who knows you and treats you in the best way, then you will say, okay, my creator is taking care of me. He's the merciful one. I am happy with him, not the pomegranate itself. Pomegranate itself consists of particles which has no meaning. Well, they don't have any quality. And that they should know you, they should adjust their existence accordingly, they should develop in a certain way that they will really entertain you. They have no consciousness, no power, no will. Nothing. We know the particles are just, they exist as they are made, nothing more. None of the particles may say, no, if I'm here, I'm not useful for human beings, so I will go there. In order to have, in order to be able to do that, they have to have will to choose and decide and accordingly act. But they have nothing. No one can show anything, any quality on them. So if you, for example, the Quran describes again, when you eat something, when the people of the hell eat something because they are hungry, or when they drink something, when they are thirsty, they want to quench your thirst by drinking something. Okay, they will be given what? Something which does not satisfy and quench their thirst, but increase their thirst, like drinking very salty water. Why? For example, you are hungry, you want to be satisfied, you want to be acknowledged, you want to be treated in the best way, but the meaningless pomegranate, if somebody eats the pomegranate as a natural being, happen to be like this out there, okay, and this meaningless pomegranate will lose all its qualities and become just a, how to say, atoms, you know, the piles of atoms. So piles of atoms is something like earth. You know, when you are hungry, you eat earth or pieces of things that tasteless things. What it does, it increases your hunger. No, it doesn't satisfy you and me. It increases our hunger, and we will suffer from what we have developed in this world, how we really educated ourselves in this world. That's what we understand from the description, and also description of the Quran. But this is not only what the Quran said so, but at the same time we understand. For example, the students in a class, the professor tries his best to teach the subject. But if the student doesn't listen, what happens? Doesn't learn anything. So at the end of the education system, or after 4 years or 5 years, what happens? He gets F, it means no degree. And can the students say that this professor is very harsh man and very rude to me, or how do you say the word?
Unfair.
Unfair to me because he gave me F. He didn't give. I was here for 5 years in the class, but he didn't learn anything by definition, and he gets F. Can he or she have any right to complain the professor not rewarding him with a degree? But the professor will say, look, I tried to teach. Yeah, as the creator of the universe will say, look, I tried to teach. I created everything in a very meaningful way. And you didn't learn anything. So at the end, you are not going to be given the degree.
How do we know that our souls have learned something?
Sorry?
How do we know that our souls are
No, we
learning
are speaking on theoretical terms.
Oh.
What do you do? Check yourself. This is the principles. So what did I learn? What did I not learn? How did I really refer the existence of pomegranate to what? And how did I do that? So that is your case, because we are not studying the practical personal experience and say that you didn't do it or you are going to fail. No. We say, by definition, if you get no reference to its creator and educate your feelings that you belong to this creator, then you get nothing. By definition, we said we are going to give the extreme examples. If you get all the meaning and educate your human side, your soul, according to the meanings that introduce the creator of the pomegranate to you, and then you feel that you are you also belong to this creator, then what happens? You educate yourself and get ready to receive your Lord, your creator. But for the first example, there is no Lord, there's no creator. It is just accidental happening, and the life will end when it dies. So it will really be given a life which is accidentally happening and complete annihilation at every moment. Now, the believer understands that those people who educate themselves with the meaning that they extract from the creation, they experience not complete annihilation, complete reference, or the full reference to its eternal source of existence. So one side is the eternal source of existence, the other side is eternal non-existence. So the extreme examples show that which direction I should take. Whether try to read the meaning and try to go this way as much as possible in order to get to know my creator through the existence of pomegranate example. And the other one gets the meaning of his existence, meaninglessness, by attributing the meaningless existence of pomegranate because it's accidental. If it is accidental, it should have no meaning. You know, if I just throw something on the blackboard or the whiteboard and with no meaning, just accidental, what do you get out of it? Nothing. It's nonsense. That's what the naturalist people say. The universe is nothing, nonsense, meaningless. Well, it is well ordered, but it's meaningless. It refers to nothing. When I die, everything will come to an end.
Can I ask a question?
Yeah.
Like now, like you were like talking about the extreme, the positive.
Of course.
Yeah.
Connections.
Yes.
Lots of destinations in both sides.
But the negative experiences for our souls, like for example, if this the fruit was like rotten, or I didn't know and I eat it and I felt pain or poison, how can that train my soul? And like for example, it can go to the extreme and people like get like very like bad experiences and they refer to that. That's why a lot of people disbelieve later after they have a huge struggle in their life. They say like there is nothing, there's no God or something like this. So that's why, yeah, the positive experiences that we can relate to, but the negative experiences, how can we relate to
The
them?
negative experience, that the order of the creation says don't go there, don't choose there. If you read, for example, rotten pomegranate, you feel it means my creator is informing me that I shouldn't eat it. That is a mercy. It is harmful for your body. It is not to be eaten, it is to be thrown into garbage. That's what you have to do. Everything in the universe, in the order of the creation, is nothing but the way to teach how to see God's relationship with you. He says, don't eat this, the rotten pomegranate. Of course, we have to investigate why we can within the order of the creation. The order of the creation is will of the creator. Why the pomegranate got rotten? First, did I just collect all pomegranates more than I need? And then, of course, some of them I will read, and most of them will go bad. And when they go bad, what happens? Got rotten. So it teaches you either benefit from it or share it. Don't ignore it. Don't really waste it. But if someone, without knowing, forgot or found a pomegranate there, put it in the garbage. Then that is the order of the universe. The order in the existence of the universe demonstrates the will of its creator. So demonstrates the will of its creator. When you found a pomegranate, of course, taking a lesson why it became rotten is another question. But you found the pomegranate here, which is...
Sorry, is this for sure to self-help? Or, yeah?
Yes, of course.
Yes.
Yeah, but it's $100 you have to pay. But after the class. Okay, so you found the pomegranate here, and it is rotten, it's smelling. So what you do, you got it and put it in the garbage and dispose it. You obey the order of the creator, but it needs consciousness. Again, it is the order, command of you, like will of its creator asking me to throw it and put it in the earth. It will become a compost. Yeah, I obey the order, but acknowledgement is necessary. If you don't acknowledge it, what you do? You just do it like, excuse me with my language, another animal wants to eat the fruit and comes to the pomegranate, sniffs on it, he said, I don't like it. They don't eat it, the rotten things. The certain animals, insects, eat it. That's their duty. And they love it. That's their, whatever the best food, fried chicken or whatever. So they love it. But the other animals, sniff it and throw it. They don't want it. So if you don't get the meaning that this is given by its creator for me to understand and grasp what is happening here, the will of the creator is to teach me that it should be thrown away. Yeah, and it is another way of teaching that if something is not utilized and wasted, what happens? into garbage. If you waste your human capacities, potentialities, what happens? The Creator says it will go into garbage. To me, hell is the, how do you say? A trash can of our choices. I think we have to stop here and give a break and come back if we have time. We will be very happy to continue until somewhere 8:28. Yeah, 15, 20. Another maybe half an hour or something. Inshallah. Thank you very much. We have other verses. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. We are back. So the second part of the verse that we are studying here on the board. Now, over it are angels, stern and strong, over the hell. Now, they don't disobey God in what He commands them and do as they are commanded. Now, how do we know that? So God says so, it must be so. I don't know whether, how can I prove that this verse is this sentence or this statement is God's statement? If I can prove it, then oh, it's really true. Huh? So I should be able to confirm it so that I will say, okay, what do we understand from angels that let me just summarize it, what we have most of the time referred to. Angels represent, okay, is everybody here? We can close. The aspect of the creation which looks to its creator, like, for example, when you look at a book, when you read a book, what do? You communicate with what? Author. Not the paper, not author, yeah? So how do you communicate with the author? Through what? Through paper? Or?
His writing, the words.
No, what? Make it clear.
Meaning, yeah.
Meaning.
Sorry?
Meaning.
You said meaning, yeah. Through the meaning. Not a book. Book is printed somewhere else. Author is somewhere else. With an example, it's an example. So through the meaning. The meaning the book refers to and ties you up with the author. Now exactly the meaning in the creation refers to its creator and ties you up with the creator if you are aware of it. If you are not aware of it, you connect your soul with the body of the things around you, objects in the world. And then, of course, you get no meaning, you get no message, you get no message, you get no connection with the creator. What you are left with? The atoms. The atoms. So atoms will be destroyed, as the Quran said. It will be destroyed as your body, we know that, is going to be destroyed at the end. So when I die, this is the end of my life, and everybody knows it for sure that the time will come, and definitely I will leave this body behind. Now, take the meaning out of the book, what remains? Paper. Do you call the paper as book? What do? You just burn it or throw it in the garbage can. But it's worthless. Pointless. So if we treat the universe without using its meaning and as a means to communicate with its author, the author of the universe. So this meaning which connects you to its author is angel. Now, angelic side of creation, which takes you and introduces you to its author and ties you up with the author. That is the angelic side of the creation. How about if we don't see the meaning and don't connect ourselves to the creator, what is left with the matter itself? So we have not experienced the angelic side of the creation. So these angels represent the meaning manifested in the in the things. The meaning is from where? Its creator. Do you understand? So whatever the creator has loaded the meaning on the things, they represent this meaning. So is there any way that the meaning in the book will disobey the author? Can you think of it? But you have to understand it's very difficult. It is difficult. It is not difficult to understand, but always the knowledge or belief, or I don't know, tradition, cultural religion makes everything difficult. So be careful, watch out. So, because if you think that the angels are running away or flying around and carrying the command of God, what shall I do? And God said, okay, do this one here. And they come and do it as if they are really actors. No. As far as we are concerned, we are definitely sure that the universe manifests some sort of meanings which we cannot attribute to the universe, to matter itself. So exactly the same, in the example, we see that the meaning of the book, you can never ever attribute the meaning to the paper or the ink. Is it possible? So the meaning is directly connected to its author. So the universe carries the meaning, and this meaning is directly connected to its author, and it cannot disobey the will of the creator, the author of the universe. It is impossible, beyond imagination. So what this particular verse, that the angels do not disobey God in whatever he commands them, well, it means whatever the order as it is given existence by its creator, the order makes it exactly as it is will to be. So the order of the universe, who can change the order of the universe? Let's say I'm going to develop a kind of chemical matter, and for example, this rain bombs. You really haven't heard of it? But this gentleman said he has. Okay, right? So you can bring rain clouds and make them rain. So you say, let's say this gentleman, this friend, is the one who has made the bomb. Okay, he knows what it is. At least he heard of it. Okay. So, are you challenging the creator?
What?
Are you challenging the creator by
No,
making the bomb, rain bomb?
I'm using the laws in the
In
universe,
the creation established by
by
the
creator
yeah.
to modify, not modified, but using them to
Yeah.
make.
But you have to obey the laws,
Yeah.
in order to make
Will
the.
never have any results if I don't.
Yeah. You have to obey the laws in order to make the bomb. So it means it is within the will of the creator that you can make the bomb by obeying his order. Again, so nothing can happen against the will of the creator of this universe. Did you get it? Even some people say that the natural environment is destroyed by human beings, but we destroy the natural environment by our own choice, by obeying the other options. It is given by us, again, it is given to us by its creator as well, their creator as well. So
there's one example I always struggle to understand in Quran, that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He gives us either
use the simple English language, like
God, God, He gives us either male or female as a kid. But now that with the science, like we can choose what we want.
According to what?
Like according to the laws, but at the same time, like now, like this, like giving, like is now I can choose.
Yes, you are choosing from among the given data. Now, so our understanding is, God decides who's going to be male or female. But when I play with the genes, and the structure of the genes, then I have girls or boys. Some people prefer boys. So I don't, but some people, okay. So for boys. So as if I am challenging God's will. No, it is within God's will. You follow the order, as you said, when you are making the bomb, rain bomb, that you are following the order of the Creator, it is the will of the Creator. You can use it in this way. You can take the simple example, very simple example, knife. Take the knife. You can cut the onion, usually, given a traditional example. Either you can cut the onion with a knife or you can cut somebody else's throat. But we are free. That is why freedom means it's with free will of human beings. You are free to modify their DNA. Because it is what you cannot do it if it is not in the order of the universe. It means it is not within the will of the Creator. So in both cases, we obey the will of the Creator. For example, I'm praying and turning, I'll come to you. Don't worry. I'm praying and turning to Qibla. This way. No, this way. All right? But I am free to turn this way. Right? But when I turn this way, I obey God's law. When I turn this way, I obey God's law again, because I'm just using the facilities provided by the Creator. So we cannot do and we can never ever disobey God's will, but we can choose to deny that it is from God. Yeah, for example, I am free to turn any way I like. It's an example. No, you don't have to obey the law in the order of the creation. That's angel. Now the first, there you're right, and then you.
Okay, so I understand that everything that happens is by God's will, but if I'm just going to elaborate more on the point that was mentioned earlier, with gender selection. So we're selecting genders, and that is along Allah's will. However, is that haram or halal?
Obey or not disobey. That's our subject.
But is it permissible in Islam?
Yeah, I mean, you can do anything. You can use the knife created by God, let's say, and kill a man, and that isn't halal or haram. Okay, the human choice. Why do you choose this way? So what are you expecting from it? What was your criterion? What was your criterion to choose this way or this way? Or the user, for example, just how do you say, the Eid Adha just passed. You can use the knife to slaughter the sheep. Yeah. So it means that no, you should never use it to slaughter an animate being. Depends on what are you doing, how conscious you are aware what you are doing. So if you say that, look, according to my values, boys or girls, whatever somebody's choices, are better. Okay, you follow your values, it means your own desire, rather than leave it to God to decide and do it and say, disobey. I'm sorry, I'm ready to obey what you decide. Whatever you decide, whatever you choose, but you are given the permission to choose. And when you, for example, the turning while you are praying, you are given the permission to turn this way or another way. Yeah, we are very honest, right? But we are expected or told that turn to Qibla, which represents what? Qibla represents what?
God's own.
Sorry?
Like, I said,
No,
Kaaba.
Kaaba. Kaaba represents what? Nothing in the world has divinity, divine quality. So we are in the world. How can we really express ourselves? No, there is nothing in this world which is worth worshipping. So Kaaba is empty. It means nothing is divine here. In the universe, nothing is divine means there is one creator, absolute creator. Because nothing is the creator here, but the universe exists. How can I explain the existence of the universe if there is nothing created in it? Nothing is the creator, it has the quality to create. So Kaaba represents God on earth, which means no God on earth. Did you get it? So if you have something other than this, you are in trouble. You are missing out. So your turn.
Okay, so this was based on, my question is, so a little while back you said, well not a few minutes ago, you said that basically we're not in a position to disobey Allah, the Creator's laws, because
so disobey what?
To disobey the Creator or the laws of the Creator.
What do you mean? The laws of this Creator? You cannot disobey the laws of this Creator. Impossible. In any case, you obey.
Okay, so when this brother right here said, by creating the rain bomb, you are using the laws of the Creator, yeah. Right? So regardless of what you choose to do with a knife, you're still obeying the laws of the Creator.
Yes, that's correct.
So how do you factor in free will?
Free will is to choose from among what is given to you. That's what we do. For example, believing in God is
a choice.
That is impossible. It is given to me. It is my freedom. I can believe in God. I can deny God, and I can say everything is accidental. Why not? I can say it. I said it.
But how do you react to or if I make the statement, okay, but by that argument, I guess I can't really truly disobey the Creator, because in your
actions, you can ignore the Creator. You can deny that the universe as a meaning refers to its creator. You can disconnect the universe and your existence from your creator, saying that the meaning of the book is from the papers.
No, but I guess
look, but be careful here. If someone says the meaning in the book is from the papers, it doesn't have an author. Conscious author. So what does it mean? You are insulting the author. That is disobedience. In your understanding, no one can disobey in the creation. You have to obey God, the order of the Creator.
Right. So that statement, right? I can say that I can completely relieve myself of responsibility, meaning.
Can you? Yeah.
Well, I can make the argument. That, I slapped the sister in the face, but why am I responsible? God allowed me to slap the sister in the face. I'll never slap. But I can make that argument, saying, oh, well, why did God let me slap her in the face? You understand what I'm saying?
So you can do that. You can do that. But you know that you are going against your own human nature, which is endowed within you by your Creator, that you shouldn't choose that, but you are free to do that. You can do. The people who are running the army or under the name of protecting the country or defending the country, etc. They killed thousands of people. They are free to do that, but they come back from the war. What they do, they suffer from all sorts of problems in this world. But yeah, but we have to understand that physically you cannot disobey God. Yeah, even we give the typical example. If you want to commit suicide, for example, let's say, no, I don't want to live anymore. I don't want to wait until my appointed time comes to die. Okay, what do? Hang yourself. Again, obeying God. you don't kill yourself without obeying God. But my claim, which from the beginning of the class, we said we have to educate our human side, our human soul, yeah, with the meaning that we extract from the creation. If we don't, it looks like a student goes to the class and pays attention to the color of the shoes of the professor rather than listens to him what he teaches. Now, it means he is losing his human value, soul, but reducing himself to a mass of matter. Now, there was another before you.
I just kind of want to explain because I see where like the confusion is coming from. So we are free to do what we want, and just like, you know, you were talking about the rain bomb, there's like GMO food. So you're free to do what you want, and like either way you're obeying the laws of God, but it doesn't mean that there will be consequences. So, you know, you can see like,
yeah, of course, yeah.
Exactly.
As far as training yourself is concerned, whether you are connecting yourself consciously to the angels that bringing the news from the Creator to you, and you acknowledge the Creator through the news you learn from the angels, the meaning.
it's only for your benefit, everything.
So if you don't learn it, what happens? Your soul has nothing. It has not been educated in any way at all. So you will be a stone or fuel, or not you, this person will be a stone in hell, or fuel of his. He will be the fuel of his or her hell. Be careful here. Not mine, not for somebody else, but herself or himself. We have to understand that. So the angelic side of the creation refers to the meaning. But if you distort the meaning or ignore the meaning, that is represented with the language of the Quran as Satan. Disobeyed God. What does it mean, disobeyed God? Disconnected you from connecting yourself to the Creator. That is the function of Satan. It is not an individual being there and waiting for the God says this or so. No, I'm going to beat you up by deviating the people's path, which goes to you. So I'll take them away, distort their life, etc. So your turn. She was before you.
With the question of how do we have free will and still be able to make decisions when God
to
knows?
interpret it.
So I think
How do you interpret it?
my understanding is God has written our choices from before we make them.
Sorry?
So my understanding is God has written the choices that we're going to
How do
make.
you know? Were you with him once he was writing?
The book of the
Sorry? I think you are a Muslim. Yeah, forget about that. Be a human being in this class. Be a human being in this class. This is not for Muslims or Christians or atheists. This is for human beings. So use your human quality. Don't bring your, whatever you heard from your mother in the name of religion. It doesn't work in this class. I'm sorry. Really. So get to learn. So this is not your understanding, your imitation. You are narrating the culture. But I'm not accusing you, but I'm reminding the others as well. Narrating the culture has nothing to do with religion. So you are narrating God has written before. How do you know?
Yeah, because my sister will say, "Oh, you're damned if you do, you're damned if you don't," and she's
Sorry, what did you say?
I don't think that's like
Just a minute. You are not giving the permission to speak. No, I'm confused.
The culture of Islam kind of bothers me.
So look, we have to be not personal.
Sorry.
We have to be formal because it is recorded and live streamed, and also people will listen to it later on. No, it is serious, really. So get a permission, get your turn, and say, we would like to hear your opinions, excellent opinions, your excellent views. We appreciate it, but in form, not informal. Say it.
Oh, I was just saying that sometimes, like, the culture of Islam, it can actually discourage people. So my sister was told, oh, well, everything is written. So she always questions, well, if it's written, then, well, you know, what am I living for? Why am I trying? You know, why am I using my own brain in every situation? It's already
it's not acceptable at all. Okay, your turn. No, it's not. Think about it.
No, I didn't get to say what I was trying. So
Sorry?
maybe I phrased it incorrectly.
No,
what I was trying
I
to say.
don't like, please. I don't like any reference to one's previous speech. I didn't mean this. I want to clarify. We are not defending personal ideas here. Whatever it is, everybody says something, but we take the idea. We don't personalize it. Don't worry about it. For example, when you make this statement, I took it as an opportunity to tell people that in this class, we speak to humanity and invite humanity to connect themselves to their creator. If Islam is the religion of creator, when they connect themselves to the creator, they will be Muslims. Otherwise, there's no way to be Muslims. So your turn. It's his turn, then yours.
Just a few minutes ago.
No, don't personal, no. Excuse me. No, that's all right. No personal speech next to each other. Really? I'm very serious. It is not a, I'm just saying, I don't know where you are from, but with the classical Muslims, it was like, we are in a group. And everybody will speak to the group. We are respectful to your ideas. If it is worth sharing it, share with everybody. If it is not worth sharing it, don't share it with any other person. So be in a public place, be a public person, not person. So your son, sorry. I'm sorry, but I'm not accusing you, just establishing the principles of this class. Yeah.
When you say for the angels that are conveying the message to us, like in this here, the angels meaning, like I take it as teachers or those that we're getting the education from,
No.
like conveying the message to us,
No.
the angelic side.
The approach, but you have been attending this class for quite enough, I don't know, more than a year, I think, yeah? Is it true?
On and off a year.
Yeah, on and off, but on and off is very bad. So must be consistent. Consistency is important. So whatever, but I know you very well, you know. Look, we always say that we should never look at the matter from other aspect, from our aspect. What we do, we take the book, we look at it, it is meaningful, and we cannot attribute the meaning to the paper and the ink. Well, there's a conscious being who reflected his knowledge in the book. That's my conclusion. And this meaning comes from the will of the author. Now, the meaning cannot disobey the author. That's my conclusion. If you say angels bring the news, it is against the principle that human mind works. And that is the, how to say, the trap, the fallible situation when you start thinking from God's perspective, when you are thinking from the unknown, starting from the unknown aspect of the creation, you mess up and it doesn't make sense. That's what happened to the teachings of the Quran, turns into a legend because they say, God says so, it must be so. What we say, if it is really true, and it is from the creator of the universe, because the meaning that I extracted must be from its author. You understand? The perspective is completely opposite direction. So we have to learn how to establish our methodology of understanding the reality in the creation as well as in my being. Right? That's what we do. This is what we are doing here, training how to learn how to think, how to improve ourselves. That's your turn.
Yes. Okay. I want to go back to when you said a way to connect with the authors by understanding the meaning of the book. In this case, we're talking about ayahs. So if we were
talking about
ayahs.
ayahs.
Science.
Yeah. Verses.
Yeah.
I don't understand Arabic. I am speaking in English. Yeah. So this is the place where we speak English.
Yes.
Okay. Thank you very much.
Yes. So if
I'm very hot today. I don't know what's happening.
We like it. We like it. Keep going.
Really, we have to establish the foundations. That's why. But when you say ayah, but we don't say in English ayah.
Okay.
So I was trying to understand eye of something. What is eye? So okay, don't confuse me. Yeah.
Yes. Okay. So if I'm reading the Quran with the inshallah intention to connect with Allah, but my understanding of the verse is different from someone else's, is our connection to Allah different in depth?
Okay. I keep hearing that word. Okay, but we don't bother to speak further. You know why? When you say, I am reading the Quran, for what?
To connect to God.
So how do you know that the Quran connects you to God? Yeah, no, not personal. How do you know that the Quran, the book which is called Quran, connects you to God?
The meaning.
Maybe when some people say it connects to Satan. Yes, some people claim that. And quite a number of people say it's just made up story.
Intention?
How do you know?
The intention.
But my intention is to like this person and kill him. My intention. What do you mean your intention? Where does your intention come from? But you cannot establish any attitude based on your previous hearings in this class. But go to the masjid and say, Alhamdulillah, I'm a Muslim, I thank God, the Quran is the source of truth, or claim whatever you want to claim. Here is the claims do not work. Bring your evidence. So approach, come to the class for 1 or 2 years, and then you will get into the method that you are not accustomed with, maybe you have never heard of. I think you come from a Muslim family background. That is an unfortunate. Okay, because if you have not refreshed, established the truth for your own self, through your own investigations, but based on your understanding on your what you have heard, you are in trouble. Your turn again.
So
This will be the last.
yeah, in order to give comfort to the newcomers who don't necessarily were new to this approach. So basically, I feel like as Muslims, we're so traditionally accustomed to, when we grow up in a family, we tend to just believe, oh, I believe, but why do you believe? You can't really come to terms with like, oh, of course I believe in the Qur'an. Why do you believe in the Qur'an? Because it's the word of God. Why is it the word of God? Because that's just something I believe. Once you continue to question yourself.
We are Muslims, yeah? That's why we believe in the Quran.
Yeah, we are Muslims.
Why are we Muslims? Because I was born into a Muslim family.
After you keep digging deep, asking more questions, you come to the realization that, oh, you kind of just believe because it was that belief you just handed to you.
Yeah.
You understand? So basically, when you come to this class, you leave, you come in as a newborn. As like you come in, so trying to question your existence, looking at your existence, okay, by trying to like, I guess using your intellect and your human ability to understand yourself, and through understanding yourselves, understand your creator, through understanding the creator, by observing the creation, you come to understand who the creator is. By understanding who the creator is, now when you open the book or the Quran, but before you can say I believe in the Quran, you have to believe in a God, right? You have to know who the creator is. You have to come to terms with the creator, because anyone can say, I believe in the Bible, that's the word of God. I believe in the Quran, that's the word of God. But if you don't understand God by using what God has given you,
your creator has given you.
Right, what your creator has given you, how could you claim that the Quran is the word of God when you don't understand God?
The Quran is the word of God, is your conclusion after studying years.
So
it must be the word of my creator.
So I understand what I understand as a Muslim, right? I believe, like, in my question earlier, I knew the answer to that question according to my Muslim belief. But how can I pose that question in this class in a way where I can, like, I guess intellectually understand, or, for example, if I wasn't Muslim,
as a human being,
right,
be convinced about it.
As a human being, how can I understand free will as within the context of like as a Muslim, I believe that God has given us a free will. I believe in a book because it's in the Quran. But how do I understand all of that intellectually? So even though I know the answer to that question because I'm a Muslim, how can I understand the answer to that question as a human being?
No. So this kind of term, thank you very much, sister. Thank you. We have to stop soon. No. First of all, never use the word as a Muslim in this class. The second, what do we mean by belief? As a Muslim, we believe. It is a most nonsense sentence. Belief means one's conviction. You don't believe in something as a Muslim. You have to believe in something by convincing yourself as a human being. So Muslims are human beings. Must be. So if you are convinced about the truthfulness of the message of the Quran, so you say, as a human being, I believe, I concluded that the Quran is the speech of my creator, but I have this and this and this evidence. I have worked on it for 10 years. Otherwise, you just repeat the word believe with no meaning. It's not belief. Belief means certainty. Belief means full conviction as a result of investigating. Otherwise, if someone says, I believe, as a Muslim, I believe that the Quran is God's word. It is really write it down, think about it, the most absurd language. What do you mean? As a Muslim, what makes you a Muslim? Huh? I know you were referring to this. I'm not accusing you. You know me. We were from the same college. So, not accusing the person, but establishing the principles that we have to wake up. You cannot use the language you learn from your family and keep imitating. And within the imitation, you keep saying that I believe as a Muslim. We believe as a Muslim. It is the most unconvincing language that we use. Is it true? Which was the language which was correct. Anyways, really, most of us use this vocabulary without realizing what we really mean by it. I'm not referring to you, huh? No, but don't imitate. In this class,
Imitating, right?
Yeah, but copy
Arabic
pasting.
is my first language.
Sorry?
Arabic is my first
No,
language.
but this imitating this because your language is the Arabic is the first language. What is it? What does it make you something?
Right.
Because you speak Arabic? No, but you cannot speak like this. But it is unfortunate that Arabic is your first language. You think that you understand the Quran. It is the most unfortunate case. You cannot understand it with Arabic language. The Quran is for human beings. So as a human being, you can understand it. So with this, oh no, watch out. But are you going to ask a question because the time is really up? The deadline is 8:30.
Yes.
So, but it is becoming very hot, and I love this your interactive class. So we can.
When we educate our human side and our human qualities, that education, which we will then reach a conclusion to, but during the course of that education, if it just so happens to be something negative, right? Like negative circumstances in life.
Yeah.
My question would be, well, my statement is that should not get in the way of what our education goal is, which is to educate our humanistic side and qualities.
We shouldn't be afraid of it, that we may make a mistake. Are you saying this? While we are educating ourselves, we may make a mistake. Isn't that possible? You may misunderstand something?
What the consequences of that negative?
No. Okay. What is your degree about? Do you have a degree in any subject?
Yes, I have my undergrad.
So undergrad degree in what?
In social work.
Which word?
Social work.
Social work. Okay. Were you 100% sure that whatever the professor teaches you, you will understand it perfectly with no mistake?
No.
Why did you go to school then? You might have made some mistake.
Yes.
So why did you go to school? Because you might have, this is really very likely, and you're not going to learn everything what the teacher, what the professors taught you. So why do you go to school then? It is the process. We learn what? How? Through try and error. You were in the class. We said try and error is the most appreciative human quality that we should not be afraid of it. If you never said, I'm not going to make any mistake, it's impossible. You have to start with your errors. So that's why the Quranic teaching also starts with what? La ilaha. Correcting the errors. First, try to be aware of the existence of the errors in your life so that you can start scratching your hair and head. But I don't have a hair, so I scratch my head, you scratch your hair. So, and say that, look, if there is no creator, if nothing has the divine quality in this world, how come this world exists? Then that opens the world. So every learning springs out of ignorance and error. Don't be afraid of it. Yeah, that's what the Quran said. Human beings are created from dead. Yeah. So for dead, and then the Creator gave us life. We were dead. We did nothing. We know nothing. We knew nothing. So obtain life now, if you like. The teaching of the Quran. This is something that, خلق الموت والحياة. The Quran doesn't say خلق الحياة والموت. I mean, I don't want to, I know a little bit Arabic. So knowing Arabic means nothing. So I don't want to show what I know of Arabic. So, Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Are we insisting to say something you wanted? Okay, Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. It's already late, so I wouldn't insist. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Subhanaka la ilma lana illa ma 'allamtana innaka antal alimul hakim wa akhiru da'wahum alhamdulillahi rabbil alamin bi hurmati surah al-Fatiha. Next Saturday we will be in this room Saturday at 11 o'clock until 12:30 a.m. not night. So a.m. 11 to 12:30 in this room.
PM.
Sorry?
12:30 p.m.
No. What is 12:30? No. 11 until 12:30.
Yeah, p.m. Then 11:30
I think
a.m.
11 a.m. 12:30 p.m. All right, in the morning, but it's not very early. So when the time changes, it changes to 12. We change it to 12. Don't worry about it. We take care of it. And this class, we don't study the same thing. We study other things, but we apply the same methodology. And I will be even harsher on Saturdays. Not everybody comes to it in the morning. You are fresh. You can really carry more load and accusations. But in order to draw your attention, I always speak in black and white terms, and also what's right, what's wrong. But as far as the principles of this class is concerned. But it doesn't mean that you have to be like this. You have to speak your father like that, because your father knows Arabic. It's his native language. It's very dangerous. Say, no, I am a Muslim, definitely. I believe in God. It's God's word. So I'm sure of it. Alhamdulillah. Use all sorts of languages. If you are from Egypt, that's it then. You can write 1-2 paragraphs praising God, and then say, I would like to speak to you tonight. Will you be available? But after 2 lines or 3 lines of praising. So that is Egyptian. So Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Thank you very much. I love it, but at the same time, we have to pay attention to it. Saturday, 11, next Wednesday, 7 o'clock. As far as I know, the principle is like this will continue for a year. Thank you very much. Thank you.